Sunday, Fox, between two teams that are potentially fraudulent. Why am I saying that? Cowboys versus the Dolphins, 4:25 Eastern on Sunday. 1-6 these teams are versus teams with a winning record. But let's get from the macro to the micro. Let's dive into the details. Dallas Cowboys, when they face teams with losing records, plus 205 point differential. But when they face the good teams with winning records, minus 38. But on the flip side, how about those Miami Dolphins? When they play the good teams, plus 196 against the bad teams, minus 49 against the good teams. This is a matchup between two teams that have a lot at stake. Potential frauds, I say. Whichever team wins, I think is going to be the legitimate team. This is the undercard to the heavyweight fight. This is Q school to the PGA Tour. This is a bar exam to those that really want to practice. The winner of this game will enter into the majors, but the loser of this game will stay in the minor leagues of our mind. Let's head to the desk. James Jones, you got a big matchup. Yeah. Cowboys, Dolphins, two very, very similar teams when you look at their resumes. But answer me this. Who has to make a bigger statement? Cowboys, Dolphins, talk to me.
Oh, fraud alert. Somebody calling him fraud? Okay, no, my bad.
That's happening this time of year.
That is crazy.
This time of year.
Man, listen. Biggest statement, it has to be the Dallas Cowboys. Ooh. You are coming off of a 33-10 loss on the road.
It's not good.
266 yards rushing on the ground. A team that is supposed to have a really good defense that got some dogs up front. Just strictly beat down. And that's not the only loss on the road. They lost to a lot of good football teams on the road. The Eagles, the Niners. You know who else they lost to? A bad football team on the road in the Arizona Cardinals. So the Dallas Cowboys this season are not a good football team on the road. I don't know what it is. They don't bring their own energy. The star players don't show up. They do not play well. So for me, man, this is all about the Dallas Cowboys right here because you are coming off a loss. Tua's coming off a W, playing well without Tyreek Hill, rolling high. They're going to be at home. But the Dallas Cowboys, when the playoffs hit, you are going to have to go on the road. Can you beat a good team? You haven't showed us that yet. You have to show us that this weekend.
Very well said. A lot joy at stake, a lot shady at stake between two what I see as identical football teams. Very, very similarly matched up. The Dolphins, for my mind and for my money, have more at stake, and it's simple. The Dolphins are currently 0-3 versus teams with the winning record. You lose to the Cowboys, you go to 0-4 versus teams with the winning record. Since 2000, the turn of the century, no team has won a Super Bowl without beating a team with a winning record during the regular season. If you lose to four teams with winning records, how in God's name can I imagine that you will beat four teams with winning records en route to a Super Bowl? Because you got to go the wild card, divisional, championship, and then Super Bowl. Dolphins have to make a statement. There is no way, at least through 15 weeks of the season and 16 weeks of the season, that I can believe the Dolphins will go on to win a Super Bowl if they can't beat a team with a winning record in the regular season. I understand they got two more games after the game versus the Cowboys. But if you start 0-4, versus teams with the winning record, I can't take you as Super Bowl legitimate. No. And Dolphins fans, I'm not saying anything that's offensive. I'm simply saying the facts.
That's it.
Unless they beat the Ravens and the Bills after this game.
Correct.
And that's why
that's how they got?
Yeah. No, they have a lineup.
True. That's a crazy Christmas gift. They had me knowing all year for that.
Man.
They have a
Niners and who? No, they got Cowboys,
the Ravens, and the Bills. Now, the Bills is at home. So that is good, but...
Go to Baltimore, though.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah. So this is why this is a very important game for the Dolphins as well, because you have this lineup coming up. Now, the Cowboys and the Dolphins are going to be postseason teams. We know that. And they have a lot of talent, both sides of the ball. Obviously, Dallas is coming off a really bad loss, and the Dolphins are coming off of a nice win over a team that is not in the playoffs this year. So you can make arguments on both sides. They're basically twinning. They have been twinning all season long. Tua's been in the MVP conversation. Tyreek's been in the MVP conversation. Dak's been in the MVP conversation. They both have great offenses. They both have defensive talent. Both have good coaches. They mirror each other in a lot of ways. But what's interesting about this is the Dolphins lineup after this. It's sort of what's happened with the Eagles. Like, the Niners loss was bad. Yeah, okay. But then if you beat the Cowboys, and the Niners loss isn't so bad, but then you lost to the Cowboys. All right, well, if you beat the Seahawks, then it's not so bad. Then you lost to the Seahawks. That's what could happen to the Dolphins. So it's not so much as needing to make a statement, but you need to beat this team that has struggled on the road. You're at home. Get it done, because you have two really big opponents coming up. The Bills at the end of the year, while it is at home, are going to have something to play for. So this is a very serious game, a matchup for the Dolphins. I don't know that it says so much about the Cowboys if they lose this game. It'll say more to me that they weren't able to bounce back from a bad loss.
I skated over that too quickly. The Dolphins are not safe. And they're not in the playoff picture. Like, I agreed, but when I think about that, the Dolphins have 3 very losable games.
Yes, they do.
I think we can all agree. You can lose to the Cowboys. You can lose to the Ravens. They've already lost to the Bills.
And the
3 very
Bills.
losable games.
Yes.
Dolphins currently have 10 wins. Bills currently have 8 wins. If the Bills win out, obviously they win the division. Yeah, Acho, but the Dolphins can still make the playoffs. There are 5 teams sitting at 8-6. 3 games left, America. If the Dolphins lose out, they're stuck at 10 wins. All it takes is for 2 or 3 of those 8-6 teams, y'all looking at it in front of you,
that's crazy.
to jump up there.
Yeah, they haven't clinched yet.
Let's not get it twisted. They haven't clinched, and like Joy has brought up, they could very easily sit at 10 wins. I don't think that would happen, but they could very easily sit at 10 wins, watch the Bills jump up, watch the Texans win 3 of their last games. Browns only need to win 1 more, obviously. So it could get very dicey. The Dolphins are not safe. I skated over that too quickly.
Yeah.
When I got this topic, I hated it. I'm going to be honest, I hated it. You know why? Because they're twins. They are twins, right? You look at the year Dak Prescott's having, right? Phenomenal year. Some up and down moments early in the year, but now look at him. He's been playing phenomenal other than that Buffalo game. You look at Tua, up and down year, right? And he's had really, really great moments, but then he had a setback with different games. So they are twins. You look at the teams, right? So much talent on defense with the Miami, and defense with the Cowboys. On offense with the Cowboys, offense with the Dolphins. So as I look at this, it was like it's puzzling to me because when you ask me who has more to gain or more to lose or who has to win, they the same, Acho.
Yeah.
Same type of coach, same type of quarterback, same type of offense, same type of defense. It is what it is. So one of these teams has to win, one of these teams has to lose. Hopefully we don't get no ties. A lot of pressure on both sides. At one point in time, we were talking about Tua was in an MVP race.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Dak.
Yeah.
Well, kind of talking about that. So I just don't understand, like, where the real, I guess, edge is for these teams, right? I guess Miami's home.
What will it do?
It's hard for me.
Let me ask you, what will it do to the confidence of the winner? I don't know why I didn't think to ask you this downstairs before the show. What will it do? So the Dolphins, if they lose, they haven't beat a winning team.
Right.
And I know, because I've been in the locker rooms, I'll be able to speak to this at least. I know when we ain't beat no winning teams versus when all we can beat is losing teams, I'm not as confident.
That's true.
If the Dolphins do, in fact, beat the Cowboys, what does it do to the winner's confidence?
I think with either side, because I said they're twins, and whoever wins, it builds confidence and momentum. Because I do think these teams are both good teams. Even though they haven't beat a lot of winning teams, they are good teams, super talented. And I look at just the matchups, right? Where a kid like Tyreek Hill, let's say the Cowboys win. Defensively, they play well. You got Gilmore on Tyreek Hill. He plays well. Going into the next game, like, okay, now I know this. We could put Gilmore on anybody because he shut down Tyreek Hill. You look at the offense for Tua, right? If we can block Michael Parsons and we can get our pass game going, our running game going, that's confidence.
Yeah.
So I think with either team, if they win this game, it's going to be super big momentum going forward. And also, I think you get that confidence because, hey, at the end of the day, these teams are both talented.
Yeah,
they haven't beat a lot of winning teams, but if you get them in the playoffs, anything can happen because it's all about matchup.
Yeah, I don't care about them. This for my confidence. Whoever loses this game, I don't have confidence that you are serious about going into these playoffs and winning.
Oh, you ain't worried about nothing?
Point blank period.
You ain't worried about
nothing? So this is for me. Dallas, can you go on the road and beat a good football team? Because you're gonna have to go on the road in the playoffs.
That's true.
Dolphins, can you beat a good football team at the crib? Can you find a way to offense to get rolling, defense to play well, to beat a good football team at the crib? Because you're going to have to beat good football teams in the playoffs. So for me, this is confidence for me. I can't take none of these teams serious. As much as I love the Cowboys and Dak Prescott and Coach Mike, I can't take you serious and say, yep, I'm picking them to go on the road against the Eagles or the Niners or whoever it may be, because you have not shown me that you can get that done. None of these teams.
That's where I am different from Shady, and I'm with you, James, on the left side of the table, is I do get the playoffs completely different season. I do believe in that. I believe in this. It's all about matchups. But I do not believe that the Dallas Cowboys can lose to every winning team they play this year. Because though they beat the Eagles, they lost to the Eagles, winning team. You lost to the Bills, winning team. You lose to the Dolphins, winning team. You lose to the Niners, winning team. I do not believe that you can lose to every winning team you play this year and then by the grace of God win versus all these winning teams
On the
in
road.
playoffs.
God is
But
real.
is it going to be the grace of God, or is it going to be Micah Parsons?
The
Is it
grace
going
of
to be
God.
the grace of God, or is it going to be Dak Prescott getting it to CeeDee Lamb? Is it going to be the grace of God, or Mike McCarthy drawing something up in a big
Talk
moment?
to him.
I think the grace of God.
No disrespect, but I think it's also the
Ron Blaine,
preparation
you know what I
and
mean?
the
Get some
talent that
picks.
they've had all over throughout this season.
But if that preparation and talent could not afford them wins versus same winning teams, how is that preparation and talent all of a sudden going to afford it later on?
I know this isn't great for a daily show, but you just said it. The postseason is a different season. Wild stuff happens in the postseason.
Wow.
Remember the Giants when they beat the big bad New England Patriots,
but remember
undefeated
remember
Tom
what they
Brady?
did
And they went on the road on all
those
Yeah,
games.
but
Yes.
let's not
But they
forget
was playing
context.
well before they went into the playoffs.
Remember what they did week 17.
games.
They
Really got
played
it.
them.
Last two games.
They
Yeah, they
bumped
played the
last week.
Patriots.
They played the Patriots.
Yeah.
I went back and rewatched the game 2 weeks
Lost.
ago because of Purdue.
They lost.
Purdue. But they played the Patriots so close that watching that game, you knew like, oh,
Hold up.
wait a second.
The Patriots won that game, but they did not play well, and they still won.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, so like, we beat y'all, we didn't even play well.
Like, right, like,
I mean, Eagles don't
maybe
get no credit for
that's
nothing.
fun for like confidence and stuff, but like they still went into the postseason. I bet the Patriots felt like, okay, we didn't play well, we beat them, and then what happened? They lost in the Super Bowl.
But correct. I'm saying the Giants also, well, I don't want to go reliving history from 2007, but I'm simply saying the Giants also in that game realized, okay, we can beat these dudes. Because they didn't blow us out. 16-0, Big Bad Wolf, 15-0.
I think confidence is important. I don't want to
Very,
discredit
always
confidence.
very
It's
important.
very important. So is talent. So is preparation. So is watching film. So is scheming things up.
Yeah.
So is watching film from how other teams matched up with them. So is coming in with a good game plan. So is everyone being healthy.
Right.
There are factors. There's lots of them. There are so many factors in winning a postseason game. It's hard as hell to win a championship. Shady says it all the time.
Hard.
So it's not that I'm discrediting week to week and the confidence and momentum and all that stuff. That's important. But when you get to the postseason, you don't know what's going to happen. I'm not wishing this. Someone's going to get injured. Like, that's going to happen. It happens every single year. I'm not like, hopefully this is the year everyone stays healthy. But what happens if somebody goes out for a couple plays and someone makes a big play because the matchup is on a backup or something? It happens.
So you're saying this, because this is what I'm hearing. You're saying that ultimately it is irrelevant what happens in this game because come the playoffs, anything can happen. Because I do not believe that
I'm
at all.
not saying if they're both in the postseason, like they're not going to see each other again. You don't know who they're going to match up with. What I'm saying is I don't think any team from start to finish this year has gone the entire season without leaving any doubt. No team to me, even as good as the 49ers have been. I feel like if they have any trip up, it falls apart. And they've done that year after year after year.
Nothing guaranteed, right?
Right, so there's no guarantees. There's no team that we're looking at this year like, God help whoever runs into them.
Yeah, but see, for me, though, like, it sounds crazy, but I was way more confident when we won the Super Bowl going into the playoffs when we were 10-6 because we was rolling. The last couple games, we like, boy, it's over for everybody when we were 15-1, I knew the last 4 or 5 games, we ain't playing that good, right? So, yes, you expect to win, but you also ain't surprised if you lose.
So
and we didn't go in that thing with confidence and got beat by the Giants, who ended up beating the Patriots.
So by that concept, then, if they both play a really good game and it comes down to the wire and it's just one team makes a better play, we're going to feel the same way about the team that lost?
I'm going to feel the same way about the team that lost because the Dallas Cowboys, if that happens, you still show me that you cannot find a way to win a game on the road against a good football team. And I can't believe that you're going to go in the playoffs and win 3 of them.
I also think that's kind of where I'm at is like, I don't know. I didn't win Super Bowl, so I won't sit here and speak because, I won a Super Bowl. I know you won a couple of them, James. You won one.
Back to back.
I'll brag for you. You don't have to brag for
back
yourself.
to back.
So with that being said, it's like, I just don't, when y'all win a Super Bowl, let's talk your Bucs Super Bowl first.
Oh, that's a great one. Go ahead.
That's a better one, for my opinion. Because y'all started 7-5.
7-5.
But y'all won 4 games straight to end the season. And then y'all won all 4 playoff games. The Bucs
On the
weren't some
road,
sorry, of course.
On the road.
But y'all weren't some sorry team. Y'all won 4 games straight to end this regular season. Y'all won 8 games straight to get out of there. So I'm saying if the Dolphins or if the Cowboys lose, they would have lost 2 of their last 4 games to end the regular season. If the Dolphins lose, they would have lost their 3rd to last game to end the regular season. Either way, they didn't do what y'all did because y'all started getting hot.
I mean, you can say that because at the bye week we did start rolling. I think guys got more healthier. Other teams we played, they had some guys that were hurt. Just being honest, right? I want to get into all that, but it happened. And it's football, like you just talked about. But my thing is, like, we did have to go win them games on the road That was hard to do.
Of course.
And I think if you have the talent, and you have the leadership, you have the players, and the coaching, you can do that. And both of these teams, honestly, they have that.
Also, Miami can go out of the season losing to the Cowboys, but then beating the Ravens on the road, who, as of right now, is the best team in the AFC. And then beating the Bills at home.
That's
Correct.
And then going into the postseason.
Correct.
Now, if they do that, then
if they do that,
they'll
that's
feel real
different.
good about it.
I'm taking things.
Okay, let's say they don't do that. Let's say they split. Let's say they lose to the Cowboys, they beat the Ravens, and they lose to the Bills.
I wouldn't be confident.
You see, but why not?
Because they'd be 1-5 versus teams with winning records, which means when they play on any given day, there's a 15% chance or so that they'll beat a team with a winning record, and you got to go do it 4 times.
But this is the thing that I always go back to, right? And I think that the numbers thing you're saying, that's a great thing, great stat. But this is the league.
No doubt.
And the league is about mismatches and it's about coaching.
Correct.
They have that.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like if you really watch the Dolphins, that's a hard team to prepare for, especially on offense. And their defense is playing a lot better since Jalen Ramsey came in.
But here's the thing I get to is, like, it is a hard team to prepare for, but good teams be preparing for them. Because when they saw the Eagles.
Right now.
Correct.
Right now.
But when they saw the Eagles, they didn't put up more than 27. When they saw the Chiefs, they didn't put up more than 27. When they saw the Bills, they didn't put up more than 27.
Real quick. It's the pressure, too, though. Like, and I hate to do this because that's your boy, and he's a hell of a player. I look at Aaron Rodgers. Regular season, oh, my God, you can't find him better than him. Brady included. We get to them playoffs and that real pressure comes, right? When an incomplete pass on third down and the other team goes score, pressure.
No doubt.
It's no tomorrow. Think about this for a second. How are you so great in a regular season?
Yeah.
Playoffs come, we don't see it.
Correct.
I'm just being honest.
We ain't got enough time for me to go
Okay,
back and forth with you.
I'm getting somewhere. So it works on this other side also.
Sure.
Maybe he wasn't great in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like the Giants. Like the Bucks. Maybe he wasn't great in the regular season. But you had that talent, you had that coaching, you had that leadership. That you could do that.
Yeah.
So we get to the playoffs and you balling, we shouldn't be super surprised.
Like the Packers in 2010.
Real talk.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.